Getting closer and closer to football season, and that's how you know. Again, in South Florida, football season really doesn't stop. It's Theo Dorsey here with ESPN West Palm, joined by Sam Curry, who is the newly minted head coach for Royal Palm Beach High School's football team. First and foremost, how is the spring? What's it looking like this summer? How much sooner until you get your hands back on the guys coming out of school? And just what's the excitement like around the Wildcats program right now?
So the spring was exciting, man. It was an opportunity to enjoy and embrace Coach Kenyon as he transitioned to Georgia to his new job. So it was an opportunity for the boys to have one more last ride with Coach Kenyon and the coaching staff. Um, I'm getting my hands on them quick. We got a parent meeting actually tonight, June 2nd, and June 9th we start our summer workout. It's a lot of excitement going on right now with what we're building with the new Royal that what we're going with. A lot of excitement. Some new guys coming in from the middle school ranks, and then also some guys that transferred in that they couldn't play in the spring. And I'm very excited about seeing them in live action over the summer growing. We done added some pieces to our coaching staff. Added like 5 or 6 coaches. Got a full-time strength and conditioning coach that start June 9th with the guys in the weight room. And there's a lot of positive things that we got going on with Royal Palm right now. A new weight room coming soon. Some new equipment and a lot of new stuff. So that's how we got the slogan New Royal. So there's a
New
lot of
Roy.
good things, a lot of new things going on at Royal Palm, and I'm very excited about leading it after having the opportunity to be the OC last year and now transitioning into the head coach. So I'm excited about it.
I like it. I like it. New Royal here under Sam Curry. Now Chuck Kenyon took over 3 years ago, and you could tell he kind of put his handprints on that program. Took it from a place that hadn't had a winning season since 2014 until last year when y'all got a 7-win season, made the playoffs. That's also thanks to your insertion there at offensive coordinator. When you think about where the program has come from and now the newfound hype around it, and now you being able to take over with that main headset. What's the ceiling for a place like this? Because I know you're from Belle Glade, right? You're a Glade Central football alum yourself. You know what it looks like to have one of those state powers and be at one of those. What's the ceiling for what Royal Palm can be with the wealth of talent that's around there, including from the youth football program that you've been a director over?
The ceiling is very, very high. I have high expectations. I always have high expectations in anything I step into. With the youth program being a main pipeline of ours, it's a blessing to have a program like the Royal Palm Beach Youth Football Organization. They got a variety of great young athletes that play in a real tough little league conference in the Florida Elite Conference. They used to play in FYFL, which is basically playing some of the best teams in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, Orlando area. So a lot of them guys that play in that league, they're very used to playing against tough competition in big stadiums. So it's great to have that support system around us because we got a lot of talent in Royal Palm and surrounding area. I'm excited about it, especially with our both our schools that is on for us when it comes to middle school, Jaeger and Crestwood. They got a lot of young talent. I'm eager to get my hands on them guys. I'm excited about the future and everything that comes with this job. So we have big expectations. So last year was 7-3, first time making the playoff in over 10 years. It was just getting the right staff, the right guys in, kids that are used to winning, and winning is contagious. You get some winners around the other guys that haven't been used to winning. Next thing you know, they're working harder, they grinding harder, and everything just changed. So we had some guys that came in and inserted themselves in the 2027 class and 2028 class, and you've seen the change from them. And we was very young last year. Not too many seniors left us, so we're looking to have a big impact. We try to beef up the schedule a little bit. We added County on the schedule to get a guy that experience of playing out of state and playing against a powerhouse like County. And then we still got West Boca on the schedule, so we got some great teams on the schedule. So, but we're expected to perform. That's the goal, and that's the only thing we believe in: performing, being competitive, and playing against anybody.
When you stepped in to Royal Palm High School last year with the team, how many of the kids were you already familiar with or knew because of your ties with the youth football program?
I was familiar with a lot of them. I already knew some of the, like the styles, like a Demetrius Rowe, a Samari Curry, Vontaze McCall, Derek Patterson. I knew them guys. I actually coached them guys since they was like 8 years old. So I knew a lot of the guys that was already on the team that was contributing on both sides of the balls. And then I got to know a few of the other guys because I also do 7-on-7 with a few of the guys called the Ash. It was Astro. Astro Elite was the 7-on-7 we did with. So I had a heads up on that because I was able to get the guys early and knew all the some of the players. And then when I came in during spring 2024. So I got there real early. Coach King after the 2023 season was over with, he asked me to be the OC. I interviewed, I stepped up to it, and then I had an early start. 'Cause I think I started in January, and I ran with that. And then I got some of the guys. And we built amazing chemistry. Like a Matt Skriniar that played 7-on-7 with me, a Demetrius Gibson, a freshman that had over 800 yards. He was from our park. He did amazing thing as a youth at our park, and I expected that when he came over. So, and he was very like soon as he stepped on campus, he was a leader. So and pushed the other guys and pushed the other receivers that were seniors to be better. So it was a big help knowing some of the guys, and then even some of the seniors I knew through training them, like a Jahira Treasure Walker. I used to train him when he was like 10 or 9 because I used to do training too. So it was good to have a lot of familiar faces around me when I came, and just they just needed the extra push. And Coach King was already doing it, just needed extra push, and we demand their best, and they delivered last year, beating some teams they ain't beat in 10 years, like a Palm Beach Garden and Seminole Ridge. And, it was an exciting year last year.
Coach Sam Curry talking to me ahead of year one of you being the head coach, but year two of you being on staff there at Royal Palm Beach High School. For you, like when you think about all of the different players that you have worked with, trained, coached at the youth level, and then you think about the state of high school football right now, not just in Florida, but in America, where there seems to be very little loyalty. How much is it going to matter to Palm Beach or to Royal Palm Beach that you aren't just a guy that's coming in from who knows where with this amount of pedigree and resume, but you're a guy that knows the families, that has built trust and rapport with the kids, and you can actually keep a gate up around that talent versus somebody else who might be having to just now shake their hands and learn them. Like I feel like that has to give you somewhat of an advantage as a coach.
I think it definitely gives me an edge that a lot of the family have prior knowledge of me before they insert their kids into high school. I think that's a great advantage to have, to know a lot of the players, the family, even some of the coaches around. They just trust me, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to work with some great young men and great families. So I think it gives me an advantage to know these families. It helped us, and I think Coach King had that in mind when he did ask me to come on staff last year. He knew that I had a ties with the community of Royal Palm and different areas. So I think that played a part of him offering me the opportunity to come on staff with him, knowing that he'll have someone that he can lead this program with if he decided to take another job. Because he came from Georgia, and sometimes it'd be itching to get back into a place you're familiar with. So
Mhm.
I think he had a plan in mind. He didn't share it with me though, but he had a plan in mind that hey, I got this back to the right way, so now I can leave it with Coach Sam and not feel like I have to call back and be worried about it going the wrong way. So, it was a great opportunity to come in and take the reign for Coach King and then know the families. When I came in, a lot of the kids already that was in Royal Palm or coming to Royal Palm, they was kind of excited and they were like, "Yeah!" And it's a lot. It got a lot to do with that too because you're right. It's no loyalty in football like it used to. Nobody want to sit around waiting no more. All these transfers, even in college level, it's kind of hard to keep kids on campus. Cause when I got here, we lost like 7 guys that would have helped us last year to other schools. And I wasn't worried. I know we were gonna build from the ground up with the younger kids. So I was like, let's just take our bumps and bruises now, and then we'll build from there. But we ended up doing 7-3. So, and then hopefully we can continue off that great season last year.
Uh, Curious on your behalf, especially as somebody who has coached volleyball back when you were at Glade Central and you coached flag football and other sports. So it's not like you're just a one-track minded guy. How do you feel about the multi-sport athlete. How much are you going to encourage players on your team to like diversify what they're doing in the off seasons and the downtime to build themselves as a more well-rounded athlete? Versus, I know some coaches' mentality is, I want you as early and often and as visible and on the football field or in our workouts as possible. Like, where have you found that balance, or are you still working towards seeing what you believe in that sense?
But my background, I got a degree from Florida State in sports management and business. So, with my degree and me dealing with sports management and dealing with training, I realized the importance to have the other sports in a kid life, to not overwork one specific muscle joint, anything like that. Because when they play different sports, they give an opportunity to work different muscles, different joints, different things, and then you have less injuries. So I'm big in that. I encourage my kids to run track. I encourage them to do. We had some kids doing volleyball. We had kids doing soccer. So I believe in building an athlete because you never know what avenue can be open in the other sports. You know what I'm saying? It's scholarship in all sports, not just football. So I encourage my athletes to play as many sports as possible and to actually enjoy being a high school student. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes as coaches, we're worried about the wins, the losses, that we forget that these are teenagers and they have to enjoy their experience in high school. And I want to encourage them to always enjoy their experience in high school. Go to the prom, go to the clubs and different things like that. Be a high school student because that's important because you only get that one time. So I encourage my kids to participate in most of everything. That's how you be a great coacher when you embrace yourself with the whole school coach, not just football. And I want my team, I want my players to be very versatile when it comes to school. I don't want no one track. Just a football player. That's it. No, be more than that.
Gotta love that. Looking forward to seeing what you do with the program, Royal Palm Beach High School football, the Wildcats, or as you said earlier, New Royal.
New Royal. So that's the goal. So look forward to hearing more from you, Theo, coming out to. I know we last year we had a ESPN game of the week, and hopefully we can have some more.
Hey, we'll be around. Look, you got my cell, I got yours. We'll be locked in, and I appreciate the time and yeah, good luck with summer workouts.